Welcome back to Universal Devils and welcome to the preview of Manchester United versus Newcastle United. Welcome to the preview for the homecoming of a certain number 7. And the first thing where I want to start with you guys is, hello David, hello Shan, how are you doing?
Yep, not bad.
Yeah, I'm doing very well, Price. How are you doing, my friend?
I am extremely excited right now for obvious reasons. And the first thing that I want to get into with you guys is what's the first emotion that pops out when you think about Cristiano Ronaldo coming into that stadium wearing our jersey and not Madrid's or Juventus's? David, starting with you.
It's really good for him to be back. I've got mixed views on him coming back. I'm happy he's coming back, but I sort of think that I would have preferred to have not bought him and got Haaland next year, because I don't think we're going to be buying both of them, and I think Haaland won't come next year with Ronaldo in the team. And then when Ronaldo leaves in 2-3 years, we're just going to be in the same situation as we were previously, where we haven't got a really out-and-out striker.
Sam, you have anything to say to that?
Honestly, Praz, my first thought when Ronaldo got signed is I was so excited. I honestly couldn't believe it. You know, it's Mr. CR7. David makes a good point though about the whole Haaland situation, because Haaland, we have been linked heavily with Haaland, but I think people are forgetting that this is Mr. CR7. And I think, yes, he might only have 3 more years left, but I'm so confident that with his new addition to the team, like our whole team's going to reach a new level.
I'm so sorry, David. Before we move on, could both of you just tilt your camera slightly downwards so that yes, perfect. That's about it. Yes, brilliant. David, you were saying something. Perfect.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for Ronaldo to be back. I was lucky enough to see him live and stuff like that when he was at United. I do think that in these next 2-3 years we will hopefully dominate Premier League. We will win this year. I said it before. We even signed Varane and Sancho, so I'm even more confident now. I'm just sort of a bit looking forward to the future as well as the present at the same time. But no, I can't be. He's second in my eyes. Well, actually, I think he's the 3rd best United player to wear the number 7 shirt. So I'm excited for him to be back.
Just to clarify, David, you're the other 2 before Cristiano Ronaldo and above Cristiano would be?
Second would be George Best. Great player. And first would be Cantona all day long.
It's fair enough. Then it's fair enough.
There's just no... Cantona's not just our best number 7, he's our best ever player in my eyes.
But I don't agree with that. Sorry, I don't disagree with that. But why don't you guys... I feel like you guys are forgetting the fact that we might be in a situation wherein Greenwood has started in the best possible form. And we might be in a situation where... See, at the end of the day, if we have Greenwood, who can be our own Haaland, I don't really care about Haaland, because when I see Haaland, I see that big loaf of pizza bread who walks with him. And that's Mino Raiola. And I don't want to deal with him, to be very honest.
No. I do agree with you there. He's an idiot.
He is. He's like the biggest reason Pogba's had problems at this club.
We're going to get to that. Wait, do not get started on that. We are going to get to that. But right now, what I want to ask both of you is Rafael Varane, Jadon Sancho, Cristiano Ronaldo. It's safe to say that we've signed elite mentality, if nothing else, coming into the squad. So from here onwards, there have been certain criticism put across to Ole that we still play counter-attacking football. There is more emphasis on the defensive side of play. We are still a little slow when it comes to our build-up play. So do you guys think that with the additions that we have right now, will that bring a certain degree of change in the philosophy of how we play, like how Manchester United team should play? Sam, you take this one.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that we've upgraded some of the positions that we've needed to upgrade that have been literally in our faces for the last couple of seasons. And I do believe that we will be able to play a much higher line with Varane, because we've always had to play quite, I don't know, deep in our half, I'd say, because we haven't had the pace with Lindelof and Maguire. But now that we have Varane, our back line is still going to be even stronger. But I am still worried about the CDM position. That is something that I do worry could affect us in the coming season.
David?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what Sam was saying. I still don't think we'll stop playing the counter-attacking, because we've got Rashford on the left, Greenwood, Sancho on the right. They're pacey players. So why wouldn't you use them to counter-attack? I mean, we're one of the best in the league for counter-attacking. I do think in the centre we do need to improve slightly with certain players, but I would, for me, as long as we win, I don't really care how we win. I wouldn't care if we went out each week and won 1-0 with a counter-attack goal. The main thing is that we win, and if we win counter-attacking, an own goal, anything, that's all that matters to me. I know the performance matters as well, but to me, at the end of the day, the result matters more than the performance.
So do you guys think that it's been a little over-egged in the media and maybe some sections of the fan that we play ultra-defensive football, we are too counter-attacking? Because at the end of the day, I don't know what others see, but I have seen this team playing fantastic football. So is there a point where maybe we are just expecting a little too much, or maybe we are not seeing what is actually there in front of us? Sam?
You make an interesting point. You do make an interesting point, but we can't just, for example, last season, right? We go into the game, right, and the first half we'd be shocking. Then the second half we turn up, and you can't play 90 minutes of football like that, because against top teams, PSG, Man City, Chelsea, you're not going to be able to just come into the second half and find your foot back in. So I do see where you're coming from, but I don't think that we can just rely on a counter-attack to win us a match.
What do you think, David?
I agree. I do agree with that. Most of the pundits I don't listen to. Roy Keane, he's an idiot. So when he's on the TV, I mute him, because all he does is belittle United. And I mean, he couldn't make it as a manager. And I literally think he's just jealous of Solskjaer. I think he's an absolute twonk. I'll say that because I probably won't get muted for that. And then most of the people that I see disagreeing with United are people that jumped on the bandwagon or have got no clue whatsoever. I mean, I saw a comment yesterday about someone blaming Donny van de Beek for a performance in an FA Cup semi-final, and he's never even played in an FA Cup semi-final. So that just goes to show how much they know. So half the people that I see on Instagram, Facebook are just absolutely delusional idiots, and half the time I don't have time for them. Sometimes I just like to argue back at them because it passes the time of day.
To be very honest, I am in the same boat as both of you. And the interesting thing about the first initial conversation that we had right now, starting this conversation, both of you mentioned that the midfield would still be a weak area for us. And there is a lot coming out from that in that regards. Fred, for poor guy, without any reason whatsoever from his side, he's probably going to be unavailable for the next 2 games. Donny recently did an interview with Rio Ferdinand where he mentioned that he is okay with playing the number 6 and the number 8 position, which was very smart from his point of view, because he knows that the number 10, there is no chance that he's going to get any real chances in the number 10 position. And I know about what you think about Sam, Sam, about Donny. And so what do you guys think? What's the best solution for this season when it comes to our midfield right now? Like, what do we do with it? It's such a confusing little thing.
Sell Paul Pogba. That's it.
I knew that was coming.
I cannot agree with you on that one, David.
I said it in the summer. I don't think we will win the league with Paul Pogba. It's changed slightly now. That's because of the signings we've got. I mean, Ronaldo. I mean, Varane, Sancho. But the weakness is still Paul Pogba. People can blame Fred for performances, but when he plays with McTominay, he can play really, really well. We've lost 3 games in like 3 years with them two. One was Arsenal last season, 1-0, when a certain Paul Pogba gave away a penalty in the 89th minute, or sometime round about that time. The other game was Liverpool at the end of the season, when, in my eyes, it was the fans' fault for breaking into Old Trafford a few weeks earlier. That's why we had to rest players. That's why we got the fixture list congested. I know it's Liverpool, and we should always go out and attack because it's Liverpool. They're scum, they're vile, they're horrid, and we always want to beat them. But unfortunately, when you play in Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, you have to rest players. Players will be tired. So unfortunately, I blame the people who broke into Old Trafford that day for that reason. Paul Pogba is good at long passes. He's shown that against Leeds. But his short passing is absolutely terrible. His tackling is even worse. And when he played, he's so inconsistent. He played well against Leeds, and he played average against Southampton, and he played absolutely terrible against Southampton.
Did the whole team. Wolves. The whole team was crap against Southampton. It was just painful to watch.
De Gea and Greenwood played well.
Fine. Yeah. Those two are
I admit Bruno's been poor in the last 2 games, but everyone goes on and on and on about Paul Pogba, but he's so inconsistent. It's unbelievable.
So, according to Sir David, you were saying that the midfield. I'm specifically talking about the midfield pivot right now, nothing else. So the midfield pivot would be better functioning without Paul Pogba in it. That is your stance?
Yes, yeah. Because the thing with Paul Pogba is he loses a ball. He doesn't track back like say Bruno does, and his passing is terrible. And what happens is he loses the ball and it puts pressure on our defence. He would be better. If anything, he'd be better as a number 10, because then their play, when he loses a ball, the opponent has to get past the midfield and the defence. But unfortunately, because Bruno's playing number 10, he won't play number 10. So I'm saying United's going to win 4-0 at weekend, but that's mostly because of the attack. The midfield, now that Fred's out and it looks like McTominay's out, it's possibly going to be McTominay and Pogba. Not McTominay, sorry, Matic and Pogba. And Matic is slow and Pogba can't tackle. And I think that is where we're going to lose the game.
Okay, one second. Hold that thought, David. Sam, all right, you heard what David had to say. So that's his opinion, and he can definitely have that opinion. And I'm 100% sure that there are many people who think somewhat related to the same thing when it comes to Paul Pogba. So according to you, Sam, what do you think is the best option for this midfield pivot going forward that would help us in the best possible way?
Well, I mean, you mentioned on your Instagram the other day about Donny willing to play the number 6 and number 8 and his overall match rating being improved. I mean, even in his youth career, he was a CDM. He's bulked up. He's got a good pass. I honestly question why Ollie hasn't tried Donny. Like, it really does baffle me, because Donny could be the key that we need in our pivot. And next to Donny, if Donny was to, shine and prove that he could play CDM, I'm going to say the complete opposite to David and think that Pogba has to start, because Pogba on this day, in my opinion, is a complete baller. And he showed that in the Euros, and he showed that against Leeds. And so for me, if you have those two fully thriving, I think our team is unplayable.
The only thing that I would like to add to both of your arguments right now is the answer lies somewhere in between, I feel, because maybe because we haven't seen it, Sam, to make your point, Donny, Bruno and Pogba together, there might be too much hot sauce in it. if you know what I mean. There might just be because we haven't really seen Donny in a Premier League game or a game for us in the number 6 position. And David, to your point, I understand where you're coming from. In fact, there are games where if Pogba is in the midfield with the wrong person besides him, the game will pass him by. And that is my only issue, is I feel that Pogba is a top class player. He looks a top class and a world class player when he's playing next to someone like a Kante. But at the same time, my only hesitation when it comes to Pogba is that you need a certain kind of player playing next to him to get the best out of him in the double pivot. That's the only thing. And is that something that we should do as a team? Cater to one particular person? Maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. That's my only thing. So I feel that the answer is somewhere in between.
I agree with what Sam said about Donny. I mean, he has bulked up a lot. And I would like to see Donny play. However, I don't know if Donny could play CDM anymore, especially in a league like the Premier League. I didn't know he played there as a youth player. But obviously, youth playing and first team is so much different, completely different leagues as well. Personally, my opinion is our best central midfielder is Scott McTominay. Not including Bruno because I class him as more as an attacking midfielder.
Agreed.
And Scott McTominay, he can tackle, he can pass, he can attack, he can defend. He's the all-round player. He's sort of like your Michael Carrick, your Park Ji-sung, the players that people didn't rate and they were actually underrated, if anything. And I think McTominay is in that category. And I would love to see a central midfield three of Scott McTominay, Bruno, and Donny. And I think that could be much better.
What do you think, Sam? Would that work? Because I like the sound of that. I like the sound of a midfield, just purely those three: McTominay, I was going to say Donny, and Bruno Fernandes. That actually sounds like a really complete midfield three.
No, yeah, that definitely could work. Like, it definitely could, but I just don't think we're upgrading with Donny instead of Pogs. I just have that strong belief that I just don't think you're upgrading if you put Donny in instead of Pogba.
The one problem I've got, it's not Pogba's fault. It's, I suppose you could say, the manager. When Pogba doesn't perform, he never gets subbed. It's like Bruno. If he doesn't perform, he very rarely gets subbed. Like with 20 minutes to go, he gets subbed like 5 minutes to go, where there's no change. Personally, if a player's performing bad, and it doesn't matter if it's my favourite, Rashford, take him off. Luke Shaw, take him off. That's the thing where if Pogba's on the pitch at the start, the only way he's going off is if we're really ahead and he wants to be rested, injured, or he gets a red card. And I think sometimes that's one of the keys. Sometimes we need to take off the players that are playing bad. Doesn't matter what your name is. If on Saturday Ronaldo is having an absolute stinker, take him off. It doesn't matter if your name's Ronaldo or not. Take him off. I know there's still, say, 20 minutes left and you don't know what they're going to do in the last 20 minutes. But the thing is, you say to yourself, what have they done in the first 70 minutes?
No,
so
I agree with that point.
This is one thing we need to do. We need to start taking players off that are playing poor, not just because of not leaving players on because of who they are and stuff like that.
No, I think I'm sure even Sam agrees with that. Even I agree with that. That's one thing that needs to be changed. Guys, I'm so sorry to cut you off. We are running short on time and we will quickly move on to the game that is going to come up in the next 2 days. And by the time this is out, 1 day. Newcastle United. All right, so I checked out a few of the statistics leading to Newcastle and their form's pretty bad. They've conceded 2 goals in all 3 games. They seem to sit back and hope to counterattack with someone like Saint-Maximin. And apparently, Callum Wilson might not be fit for this game as well. So is there anything that we need to worry about when it comes to this game from Newcastle?
Dave, you want to say this one or?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really watch Newcastle, so I can't really comment on how good they've been, how bad they've been. I mean, I do know that Willock played really, really well for them last season, and with him being in midfield, it goes back to what I was saying earlier on about if it's Matic and Pogba, Willock could be the key to help that midfield out. But I think it will be an easy game. I still think it's going to be 4-0. Ronaldo will score 2.
Hold on for the prediction. It will come.
Okay.
It will come in due course. Sam, you would like to add to that in terms of...
To be honest, I completely agree with David. I mean, if I'm not wrong, they've lost 2 games and drawn 1. Like, as you said, Wilson's out. The stats, they've conceded 2 goals a game. They're, bottom half of the table. I'm not sure about 100% their position, but it should be a fairly easy game, 3-4-0. Ronaldo doing what he does best.
Wait, again, you're also starting with the prediction. Wait 1 second. We'll get to that. 1 second. All right. So because these guys just want to jump right into it, so we will directly go into it right now. See, we all know there's one definite person that we all want to start this game. We're going to start with the predicted 11 now. Sam, you want to give us your predicted 11 for the game against Newcastle?
I think the goalkeeper and the back line will be the same as last game. I think I do think David's right with what he says. I think it will be Pogba and Matic because I don't think Donny will give Donny his chance yet. I think Bruno will go at Cam. I think Sancho will go on the left. Greenwood will go on the right because that man's on fire. And then Mr. CR7 himself on top.
Giving me goosebumps.
Man, I'm so excited. Oh, man.
David, what's yours, buddy?
Exactly the same as that. Exactly the same.
Are you serious?
Yeah. No, that is dead. That is my prediction. It's been my prediction for the last 4 or 5 days. The only thing I would maybe change, well, 2 things possibly I would change. If McTominay's fit, I would play him, but I don't think he will be. Or if he's fit, I would play him. And everybody wants to see a certain other player playing, apart from Ronaldo. That's Donny van de Beek. So why not play Donny instead of Pogba and play Pogba against young boys? But I don't think that'll happen either. Bring Pogba off the bench. But my prediction for the United prediction on the app is the exact same as what Sam just said. Exactly what Sam just said.
So let's hit this point now because both of you raised something very interesting. So both of you have the same predicted 11. If both of you had a choice to name your first 11, what changes would there be? Sam, for you?
Is this including injuries or excluding injuries? So
including injuries, like going into the Newcastle game. You're going into the Newcastle game. Is there anything different you would do?
See, I don't know what I can really change around with it because all I'm thinking is the midfield pivot. That's what I want to change. But the problem is Scott's not back. Fred, I mean, even if he was back, Fred's a dead ball. I don't care what anyone says. And then you got Van der Beek. Again, we don't know how he'd do in a double pivot next to Pogba. And I keep saying my philosophy, Pogba has to stay. So maybe Matic and Pogba, but as David says, he makes the point, Pogba isn't great at defending, Matic is slow. But I'd maybe just keep the same lineup.
What about you, David?
The only thing I would possibly change is the formation. And I'd go, because this is the formation that I would play when everyone's fit. And it's a 4-2-2-2. 2 central midfielders, Bruno and Matic. I'd probably say Matic because obviously McTominay might not be fit. Then Sancho on the right, and I'd play Martial on the left, and I would play Greenwood with Ronaldo up top because I think when everybody's fit, Rashford would replace Martial, and McTominay would replace Matic, and then that's our key, and that would also help Greenwood as a striker for when Ronaldo leaves.
You know, the crazy thing about this situation is I have gone for exactly the same predicted 11 as both of you guys selected. But if I had to make a change just for this one game, for some reason they make me the manager, I'm going old school 4-4-2 with Bruno and Donny in the center, with Greenwood on the right, Sancho on the left, Cavani and Ronaldo forward 2, and just kill them. With Varane and Maguire just sitting back. Just go for it. Just kill them. If Ronaldo doesn't get his head on the ball, Cavani will. Both of them are going to fight in the power. Oh man, what a game that would be to witness. Imagine Cavani and Ronaldo together.
I like the team. I do like your team, Paris, but there's just one problem, and it goes back to the Europa League final. When we played the Europa League final, there was not one person on that bench really that could come off the bench and change the game. Now this season
we have Paul Pogba on the bench.
Yeah. We
have Paul Pogba on the bench.
but that's it. I'm talking about up top. So this season we've got, like, if Ronaldo doesn't do it, bring Cavani on, Greenwood, Sancho. We've got so many options this season that this season it's so good that no more do we have to play the same team, the same plays over and over and over again. We can give them a rest, even if it means playing Paul Pogba, play him against like West Brom or even Arsenal, because they're like doing rubbish at the moment, even though they have a poor record, even though they have a great record against us.
Guys, you're completely running out of time. Almost 30-minute mark. So the last thing that I would want from both of you is the predicted score. What do you think the final score is going to be like?
4-0. 4-0. Ronaldo 2. Sancho 1. And let's go for a Luke Shaw goal.
That'd be fun. Sam?
Yes.
3. Ronaldo 2. Bruno 1.
Yeah, just imagine 3 sounds like safe right now. Why are you being so safe? Go for it.
Yeah, I don't know. Because sometimes I hope high for United, and sometimes, we just don't hit that level that I think we can. So, I don't know.
Nah, man, I'm telling you, Ronaldo will score Yeah, go for it.
Just before we go, can I just ask Sam who he would have on free kicks and penalties?
Oh, penalties, it has to be Mr. CR7 himself. Right, come on, pens. Yeah. Oh, free kicks. It depends how far you are. I mean, Ron can't hit free kicks like he used to be able to. It's kind of sad to say. So maybe Bruno, mix him and Bruno in and out depending on the distance. That's what I do.
See, for me, Bruno would take the short free kicks. Ronaldo would take the long ones, as well as Rashford. But I would leave Bruno on penalties because he just seems better. He's missed one for us, while Ronaldo is quite a bit inconsistent sometimes with his penalties. And Bruno's technique, it's so hard to understand where he's kicking it. He's so much better than Jorginho. So, I'd leave Bruno on penalties, and then that'll leave them happy, both of them. But we won't know until we get a penalty. So
I'm pretty sure we're going to find out within the next 48 or 72 hours, whatever it is. All right, guys. Thank you so much, David. Thank you, Sam, for coming in. We are running out of time completely, and we've crossed the 30-minute mark as well. So thank you so much once again. And guys, we're going to be back for another episode, and you'll definitely see Sam again and David again. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Cheers, Sam.
Cheers, David.